morning, viewers, and welcome to Tuesday edition of your breakfast show inside Nigeria, reaching you on leadership celebration. My name is Winifred Ubebo, and as you can see, I'm alone in the studio today, so I'll just be taking the newspaper headlines in some of select newspapers. My name is Winifred Ubebo. I'm your anchor for the show, and of course, with as usually the custom on this program, we start off with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership. Leadership is leading with the major trending stories on all papers today. It's actually the headline stories for all the papers in Nigeria this Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. Is talking about the sack of the service chiefs and the appointment of new ones. Leadership says in one fell swoop, Tinubu retires service chiefs, IGP, customs boss. In one fell swoop, Tinubu retires service chiefs, IGP, customs boss. Names replacement, rejigs brigade of guards. Appoint Ribadu NSA. Leadership columnist Musawa SA Culture and Entertainment Economy. Of course, you can see on the pages of news leadership, just like every other paper today, you have the picture of the new service chiefs and the outgone ones, the old ones, and that is what is gracing leadership this Tuesday. In one first suit, Tinubu retired service chiefs, IGP, customs boss, names replacement, rejigs brigade of guards, appoint Ribadu NSA, leadership columnist Musawa SA Culture and Entertainment Economy. Above that, we have CGN wants judges avoid gifts from corrupt litigants. Avoid gifts from corrupt litigants. CJN warns judges. The story is on page 6 of leadership. President dissolves board of MDAs, spares INEC 13 orders. President dissolves boards of MDAs, spares INEC 13 orders. And above the masthead, we have Tinubu up to France for new global financial summit. Tinubu up to France for new global financial summit. Subsidy removal, federal government labour fix 2 months to implement resolutions. Is leading story on this day on leadership this Tuesday. For more stories on the cover and of course inside pages, just log on to the website www.leadership.ng. And just before we go, let's move over to the editorial for today, Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. The editorial titled As Stand, Nigeria the Scare of Deforestation. Nigeria the Scare of Deforestation. That is the editorial with our stand on leadership. Let's also go over to the back page of the paper with Tuesday column with Ray Murphy. Adieu Raymond Dokpesi, a media titan. Adieu Raymond Dokpesi, a media titan. May his soul rest in peace. From leadership, we are looking at the Punch. Punch also has similar story. Tinubu removes security chiefs, customs boss, appoints Ribadu Egbetokun orders. Tinubu removes security chiefs, customs boss, appoints Ribadu Egbetokun orders. Abubakar named Air Chief Ogala heads Navy, Ribadu now National Security Advisor. Customs get acting CG. Usman Musawa, Senator Gome Ibrahim appointed advisors. President travels to France. Just like leadership, we also have pictures of the new appointees, service chiefs, and that of Madam Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security Advisor. Above the masthead, we have federal government labour set up minimum wage committee. Airfare skyrockets as exchange rate hits 702 naira per dollar. Tinubu woos foreign investors meets Bill Gates Airtel founder. And above the leading story, just beneath the leading story, the pictures of the leading story, we have tribunal again, Labour Party, INEC lawyers clash over home materials. Terrorists demand 25 million naira ransom for kidnapped Zamfara varsity students. Army alerts Kaduna communities ahead of shooting practice. Now let's move over to the editorial of the Punch newspaper. We are not going yet. The Punch editorial actually is the first of the paper, and we just have to see what Punch editorial is saying today, Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. And the editorial is on Bukachua, judiciary needs urgent cleansing. Bukachua, judiciary needs urgent cleansing. Of course, you know about the trending video whereby the senator, the husband of the former president of Appeal Court, did say that he has helped his friends in the past with encroaching, while encroaching on his wife's privacy. And the Punch newspaper is doing, the Punch is doing editorial on it today. Editor Bukachua, the judiciary needs urgent cleansing. That's all we can take on the Punch newspaper. For more stories and inside pages, just log on to the website www.punchng.com. From the Punch, we see Vanguard. Vanguard says Tinubu sacks service chiefs, dissolves boards of MDAs. Tinubu sacks service chiefs, dissolves boards of MDAs. Nuhu Ribadu named NSA, Egbetokun acting IGP. Musa Emeji CDS, Lagbaja is new COAS, that is Chief of Army Staff. Ogala CNC, Abubakar CAC, boards of federal parastatals, agencies, institutions, companies dissolved. That's the leading story on Vanguard. And of course, we have a pictorial on that page. Tinubu meets Dangote, Bill Gates. You can see a picture of President Tinubu shaking Alhaji Aliko Dangote, while Mr. Bill Gates of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation looked on yesterday at the villa. And above the masthead, we have Naira depreciates to 770.38 per dollar as demand pressure hits I and E. Naira depreciates to 770.38 naira per dollar as demand pressure hits I and E. The story is on page 19 of Vanguard. We have presidential poll, no technical glitch on February 25, Amazon test court. Presidential poll, no technical glitch on February 25th, Amazon test court. Subsidy, Labour, federal government set 8 weeks deadline to conclude dialogue. Airtel flags of 5G services, pledges universality for subscribers. NNPC committed to federal government's 2060 net zero plans, Kyari tells US. And NGE President Akpabio Abdulrazak Narada Mpan congratulate Eze and Nava. Kebbi government moves to reopen FGC 2 years after bandits attack. Nigeria spends over $500 million on importation of dairy products yearly, according to the Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki. From Vanguard, we move over to Blueprint. Blueprint says Tinubu elevates Ribadu as NSA, sacks service chiefs IGP. Tinubu elevates Ribadu as NSA, sacks service chiefs IGP. Names Musa CDS, Lagbaja COAS, Ogala CNS, Abubakar CAS. Egbetokun IGP, Adewale Customs Boss. Dissolves boards of parastatals, just out to Paris for Global Financial Summit. Dissolves board of parastatals, just out to Paris for Global Financial Summit. Stories on page 6 of Blueprint newspaper. Of course, we can also see the pictures of the new service chiefs gracing the cover of Blueprint newspaper. Katsina government committed to tackling insecurity, official. Cost of shipping oil from Nigeria soars. We have invested over $4 billion in Nigeria, says Airtel. PEPC, presiding officials say only presidential election results refused, in quote, to upload. We're trained that where there is no network, we do offline transmission. witness. That story is on page 6. That is talking about the ongoing presidential election petition tribunal taking place in Abuja. And above, just beneath the masthead, we have hash 2023 Nigerian pilgrim dies. One amputated, three have miscarriage. What is sad news. Manufacturers' income tax rises to 18 billion naira in first quarter of 2023, according to NBS, National Bureau of Statistics. For more stories on Blueprint Newspaper, just log on to the website www.blueprint.ng. From that, we move over to the next paper on our menu, and that is The Nation. The Nation says Tinubu appoints service chiefs, CDS, NSA, IG, CGC. More special advisors, SSAs named. Tinubu appoints service chiefs, CDS, NSA, IG, CGC. Boards of government agencies, departments, institutions dissolved. Forest policy will open floodgates of foreign investments. Telco's international CEO, Dangote okay reforms. Bill Gates meet president. Ozekome allowed doctors access to Kanu. Postcon sees payment of 800 billion naira. Let's see what the story says about the masthead. Labour Party, Obi, INEC lawyers clash at tribunal. Atiku calls three witnesses. Subsidy palliatives plan ready August. TUC, NLC optimistic. Naira slumps to 770 naira per barrel. President go for global summit in Paris. Kano to rehabilitate city walls. And of course, just before we leave daily, The Nation, we have to see the editorial of today. Of course, The Nation newspaper always go with two editorials per day. And the editorial this time is just one. It says, access to light. The student loan law is a great opportunity for a generation. Access to light. The student loan law is a great opportunity for a generation. It says this is not free education, but higher education, which even in the best of countries is never free, except for a few countries like Germany. We may aspire to that, but this is a good start and we must hug it for its endorsement of a bright future for a troubled generation. That's the editorial on The Nation today, June 20th. From The Nation, we see what Daily Sun is offering today in this paper. Daily Sun says Hurricane Tinubu sacks names service chiefs. Hurricane Tinubu sacks names service chiefs. Appoint Ribadu NSA, CJ Musa CDS, TA Lagbaja COAS, EA Ogala SCNS, HB Abubakar CAS, Kayode Betokun Acting IGP, Adeni Adewale CG Customs, Hadiza Usman Advisor. That's the leading story, and of course, they also have pictures of the service chiefs on the cover of Daily Sun. We have Tinubu to attend Global Financing Pact Summit in Paris. ASU tackles federal government on students' loan. Contains 90% of Nigerian students won't meet requirements. Demand students grant instead of loan. Drug war. 31,675 arrested, 5,147 convicted, 6.3 million kg drugs seized in 29 months, according to Mawa. IPOB alleges plot by Southeast politicians to adopt its leaders in diaspora. Only Kanu can recommend his own doctors. Dr. says Ejimako. Presidential Election Tribunal hearing. INEC Amazon engineer clash on non-transmission of results. Presidential Election Tribunal hearing. INEC Amazon engineer clash on non-transmission of results. There was no network glitch, says engineer. Network failure responsible, insists Electoral Commission. Abia North, Kalu lights up 48 communities. And of course, just beside the masthead of Davidson, we have fuel subsidy. Federal government resumes dialogue with Labour. Court reaffirms order restraining NLC TUC from embarking on strike. And just like every other paper, before we leave, we should see the editorial on today's Daily Sun. Daily Sun is on the suspension of Emefiele. It says that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on June 9 suspended the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Godwin Ifeanyi Emefiele. His ouster and subsequent arrest by the Department of State Services, DSS, where he's currently being interrogated on multiple allegations, came exactly a year before his second and final tenure would have run its full course. It appeared his cup was full and his removal perhaps overdue. For more on that editorial, just log on to the website of Daily Sun, www.sunnewsonline.com. And they also have stories inside pages as well. From Daily Sun, we see what the next paper on our menu is saying, and that is this day. This day also, like every other paper, has the story on the appointment of new service chiefs on its cover, acting IG and CJ Customs. Tinubu sacks all service chiefs, IG, CG Customs advisors, appoints Bala Usman, Musawa, Gume, Ibrahim, others SAs, dissolves boards of parastatals, agencies, government-owned companies. Mm. And the federal government takes urgent steps to avert oil vessel withdrawal over tax charges. About the masthead of this day, we have CBN plans more currency measures to stabilize Naira. CBN plans more currency measures to stabilize Naira. In break from military rule in line with global best practices is police-led security apparatchik. That is the German word. Apparat, apparatchik. In break from military rule in line with global best practices is police-led security apparatchik, talking about the appointment of Nuhu Ribadu as a NSA, National Security Advisor. That is the news analysis. It's actually news analysis on this day today. It says Ribadu, police intelligence veteran, is now the NSA. I think this is the first time that is being done. Most days we've had retired generals as in acting in that position. But a break, a marked deviation actually on the past. We are having the police intelligence veteran Malam Nuhu Ribadu as the NSA. From this day, we move over. No, just before we leave this day, let's also see what the editorial is saying this day. This day editorial is on National Assembly and pension reform. National Assembly and pension reform. President Tinubu must do everything to save the pension reform from reversal by having a police pension board which will not be subject to oversight by an external body. The authorities may end up setting the stage for a return to the culture of impunity that prevailed before the reform. That is just a tip of the editorial on this day today. For more stories on this day and for more on the editorial and inside pages, log on to the website www.thisdaylive.com. From the This Day newspaper, we move over to the last paper we have on our menu, and that is The Guardian. The Guardian also has similar story like every other paper today in the country. Applause as Tinubu fires service chiefs, dissolves boards of agencies. Hmm. Applause as Tinubu fires service chiefs, dissolves boards of agencies. You have pictures, both pictures of the new service chiefs and the NSA on the cover of The Guardian. We have federal government labor fees 8 weeks for conclusion of subsidy removal talks. Federal government labor fix 8 weeks for conclusion of subsidy removal talks. Tinubu pledges to prioritize Nigeria's well-being. Partners Dangote, Bill Gates. Road diversion. Motorists, commuters decry unending sufferings on Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Road diversion. Motorists, commuters decry unending sufferings on Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Ethno-religious regional settlements as Senate seeks principal officials. Ethno-religious regional sentiments as Senate seeks principal officials. The story is on page 3 of the Guardian. PEPC, that is a Presidential Election Petition Commission. Tinubu APC failed to stop APN's petition. INEC staff recounts Beaver's failure. PEPC, Tinubu APC failed to stop APM's petition. INEC staff recounts Beaver's failure. Arid Air shareholders trade accusations over 120 billion naira alleged fraud. Arid Air shareholders trade accusations over 120 billion naira alleged fraud. Before we leave Guardian newspaper, we are also moving over to the editorial page of the Guardian. The editorial of Guardian today is on power supply dream and new electricity law. Power supply dream and new electricity law. That's the editorial on the Guardian. For more on that, you just log on to the website www.guardian.ng. Power supply dream and new electricity law. So, well, viewers, this is where we end today's newspaper review on the stable of Inside Nigeria on leadership television. My name is Winifred Ugbebo, and I look forward to having you same time, same station tomorrow on the platform. Stay tuned. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership.